back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing the infamous coronavirus pandemic. So I know that the news and social media and everybody has just been hitting us for the past month about this topic, but I feel like with the outbreak like this, it has affected people all across the world. It would be wrong of me not to address this on my page. A couple weeks back, I had somebody come to me asking me about the seriousness and logistics of COVID-19. What really stood out to me and caught my attention was that they also asked me about what all this talk about flattening the curve really meant. It made me realize that at times of panic like this, when news broadcasters, health departments, the government, everybody's just trying to spew out as much information as possible, as quickly as possible for people in the community, it might not always be explained to the extent that's needed for everybody in the community to understand and really be able to stay up to date on everything that's going on. I wanted to make a video to really address that and further explain what flattening the curve really means in a way that hopefully everybody can understand and grasp the importance on it. Along with all the talk about flattening the curve, I'm sure you have all seen this graphic that represents the difference of if we were to flatten the curve versus not. So taking a look and analyzing this graph, on the vertical side represents how many people are sick at one time, and on the horizontal side represents how long the virus has been spreading. The line that goes straight through the middle is the hospital capacity, how many people hospitals are able to treat at one time. The first tallest curve represents the number of sick people at a time if we do not take steps to slow down the spread of the virus or avoid contact with it. The flattened curve on the bottom represents the number of sick people if we do take preventative measures to slow down the spread of the virus. So going back and looking at that tallest curve, this is what we're trying to avoid. This represents a lot of sick people at one time. This really overwhelms the number of beds and healthcare providers that are available to treat patients. Prior to the pandemic, hospitals already experienced enough trouble trying to treat all the patients that came through the door without taking into consideration this overwhelming, unexpected spike of patients due to the COVID-19 virus that are in need of immediate treatment. Taking a second to go back and look at that flattened curve, this is what we're aiming for. This represents steps being taken to spread out cases of the virus over a longer period of time. This not only allows healthcare providers to be able to handle the number of patients that they're being faced and be able to treat those people, but also buys time for scientists, researchers, and other specialists to find a cure or a vaccine. Another thing flattening the curve is responsible for is protecting our healthcare providers. The more ill patients in a hospital at one time increases the likelihood of healthcare providers becoming ill as well, which is why it's so important to follow social distancing guidelines. So I want to turn this into a conversation about why flattening the curve and social distancing is so important to you. So I would love if you guys commented below who or what your motivation is to flattening the curve. I wanted to jump on here again real quick and remind you guys to check the description below. I'm going to link a page to, I believe it was the Washington Post. Usually I like to just follow the CDC and WHO stuff when I do research for my videos and just in general when I'm looking for knowledge on things, especially about the COVID-19 outbreak. But I found a really awesome visual simulation of social distancing, just describing how it works visually, and I just found it really helpful and cool on grasping the whole concept of it. So definitely check that out, and there's some other good information down there as well. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time.